Hi, this is Daniel Hutchins, and today we're going to be doing another article discussion. Today's article discussion is about WandaVision. So we're going to be talking about WandaVision and Marvel's next big villain. Okay, so this was recent news from yesterday on the Hollywood Reporter. Okay, so here we go. On with the article. Okay, so there are countless clues in Disney Plus' show that a bad guy that rivals Thanos is just waiting within the wings. The story does contain spoilers for the first 3 episodes of WandaVision, so if you've not seen WandaVision, please go see it now, before you watch this video. Anyway, okay, so Marvel Studios appears to be courting the devil. While the studio's head honcho, Kevin Feige, has been typically reticent to give away too many of MCU's future plans, it would seem an arc is starting to take shape, if not throughout the entirety of Phase 4 film and Disney Plus stream projects. Then at least through the MCU's magic-tinged projects, WandaVision, Loki, an untitled Spider-Man 3, Doctor Strange Multiverse and Madness, and more. Within this arc, a new threat seems to be on the rise, but one whose villainy could rival that of Thanos, or maybe even surpass it. Okay. So if the apparent clues in WandaVision are to be believed, then the Marvel Universe's very own version of the devil, Mephisto, may be right around this corner. A little bit of background about Mephisto. He was created by Stan Lee and Joe Buscema, first appeared in Silver Surfer number 3 back in '68. Much like his literary namesake, Mephistopheles, the demon served as a tempter and made the bargaining rounds with nearly every hero in the Marvel Universe, at one point or another, vying for desires in exchange for a piece of themselves. When it comes to the MCU, Mephisto fits perfectly into a post-Infinity Saga landscape, given that his comic book origins have strong ties to the Infinity Stones. According to Mephisto, as told in Silver Surfer Volume 3, number 45 back in '91, the being of pure evil was born when the one above all, the supreme cosmic being, died from suicide. That act resulted in creation of the Marvel multiverse, the Infinity Stones, and Mephisto. During the iconic storyline The Infinity Gauntlet back in '91, Mephisto guides Thanos in use of the Infinity Stones as part of his plan to acquire them for himself. It's later revealed that in Avengers Volume 8, number 38 in 2020, that Mephisto has been whispering in Thanos' ear since the Mad Titan was so young, citing his sights on Earth in prehistoric times and starting Thanos' ongoing war against humanity's greatest heroes. While Mephisto's attempt to claim the stones in Infinity Gauntlet failed, he has recently acquired the Time Stone, as from the Avengers Volume 8, number 31 of 2021. And so allowing him to travel through time and change certain events, such as pitting Thanos against Earth earlier than the previously established continuity. To further complicate matters, Mephisto's possession of the Time Stone has allowed him to cheat death more efficiently than ever before, but his travels through time have created alternate universe versions of himself that can supplant from his deceased form. Talk about a multiverse of madness. Given the fact that Mephisto and the stones are comprised of the same energy in the comics, it's conceivable that the MCU and the stone cycle of use of destruction has awoken Mephisto to the goings on Earth. While it's unlikely that the MCU would find Mephisto undergoing the same quest that Thanos did to collect all the stones, it does seem that not all of the Infinity Stones are entirely out of this picture. But in fact, the audition synopsis for Sam Raimi's Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness makes reference to the fact that Stephen Strange can still be researching this time stone following from the events of Endgame 2019. While the Doctor Strange sequel seems to be a culmination of MCU's magic-focused arc, WandaVision is in its beginning stages. But then even with only 3 of the 9 episodes having premiered so far, Mephisto's shadow is already growing. With the shape of a hexagon that's been a recurring motif in the first batch of WandaVision episodes, the shape is prevalent in the 3 different theme songs that set the stage of the series' shifting timelines. But the root word for hexagon is hex, which is Greek and means 6, but in German it means witchcraft. 6, of course, has significance with MCU, with there being 6 Infinity Stones. Biblically, it took the Judeo-Christian God 6 days to create the world. And all as horror-loving fans know, The Omen 1976 and various demon-centric movies, 666 is the number of the beast. The devil, and yes, Mephisto, interestingly enough, subsequent translations of the New Testament in Arabic and Greek note the number of the beast as 616, which is designation of Marvel's main comic book continuity. The number 6 is notably absent from all clocks, radios, dials, and WandaVision. Additionally, that 6 promotional posters were released to the show, each pertaining from a decade in television history: 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and 2000s. Not to go entirely into lost territory though, but there's definitely a significance to use that number in the show and larger MCU. And as for Hex, as in witchcraft, Feige revealed that WandaVision would see Wanda Maximoff, Wizard of Oz, earn her moniker. But then Scarlet Witch during the theme song of the second episode, 6 stars are shown around the moon. The moon is known as the symbol of witch goddess Hecate in Greek mythology, and in Egyptian mythology, Khonshu is the moon god of the moon. So at this point, we might as well go full Lost. But then, of course, in Marvel Comics, Khonshu's avatar on Earth is Moon Knight, set to introduce an MCU played by Oscar Isaac next year. Recently, in Jason Aaron's Avengers run, Khonshu has been pitted against Mephisto, but has found him unbeatable as a demon has used from the Time Stone to create an army of versions of himself from across the multiverse. This wouldn't be the first time Marvel Comics has sought to synchronize itself with the MCU in advance. In Jason Aaron's run, the Mephisto is a big bad, may hold quite a few clues from the character's cinematic future. In the comics, Wanda's mutation gave her hex powers, which she learned to achieve greater control of these through actual magic. Taught to her by a mentor, a contraction of the name Agatha Harkness is Agnes, which of course was the name of Catherine Hahn's nosy neighbor in WandaVision. Agnes seems to know more than she's letting on to, but that's becoming increasingly apparent in the most recent episodes. There's a reoccurring mention of her husband, Ralph, who's never seen but only mentioned. Agnes, if the theory about her truly being Agatha Harkness is correct, and I can't imagine it isn't, has delivered a few lines that led me to believe she has quite the intimate relationship with Mephisto. But then Wanda's snobby neighbor, Dottie, says the devil's in the details, to which Agnes responds that that's not the only place he is. With a wink, in the 3rd episode, Agnes says that her husband Ralph looks better in the dark. Okay, so obviously there are meant to be possible innocuous sitcom lines, but given this whole mystery approach to the show, there seems to be something sinister at play. While Agnes isn't married to Mephisto in the comics, she isn't a villain. Therefore, she does have a long history of secret agendas. It's very familiar with the devil, and in darker aspects of magic, Harkness played a crucial role in altering Wanda's memories. When she discovered that her children Billy and Tommy were fragments of Mephisto's soul, in John Bray's controversial Vision Quest, and Darker Than Scarlet Arcs in Avengers West Coast 89 and 90, as for more evidence that Agnes is not who she seems, if you look closely at the brooch, which she's worn in every episode, there's what appears to be a skeef-wielding figure While it may conjure up thoughts of Thanos' paramour Death, who stood with Mephisto against the Mad Titan from the Infinity Gauntlet, there may be truth that may lie in a more obscure figure, but one that holds great importance with the history of Wanda and Vision. Feige has mentioned that Bill Mantlo and Rick Leonardi's 4-issue miniseries, Vision and Scarlet Witch 1982, which saw the couple move to suburbs, served as primary inspiration for WandaVision. In the first issue of that series, Wanda faces off against He Who Would Live, also known as Samhain, a skiff-wielding demonic droid who captured Agatha Harkness' soul and sought to use Wanda's powers to give him dominion over Earth's magical forces once again. But Samhain, who also serves as ally to Salem 7, a group of evil sorcerers who tempted Wanda to join their coven, they also happen to be grandchildren of Agatha Harkness, but it's possible that some of the denizens of OSU are practitioners of magic as well, working in the service of Samhain, who in turn is the disciple of Mephisto. All secrets and signs point to the 6th episode of WandaVision. That's right, the 6th episode, being set for Halloween, also known as Samhain Day, and a date in the comics in which Wanda encountered the droid. While it seems Wanda is responsible for much of reality altering in WandaVision, as she was the search for a perfect life, one born from imported American TV shows she was raised on. Mephisto could be pulling on the strings. The bargain for Vision, Paul Bendy's resurrection, could have dire consequences, but especially if it means for Mephisto to open the multiverse, escape from one into another, Wanda's powers might not be enough. But Mephisto has grand plans for the multiverse. Then, time would be a way to open up further universes and even erase others from existence. This brings us to Loki, that a series set to debut on Disney Plus in May will introduce Time Various Authority, an organization that monitors the multiverse and erases those they deem dangerous to remain in existence. Perhaps reality is overrun by Mephisto. The teaser trailer for the series contained a curious-looking stained glass window. One that depicted a figure rather strikingly similar to Mephisto. There were also 2 images of the moon in that image. Perhaps one symbolizes Khonshu, another Hecate, and with 2 moons, the 3 stars in the image, Mephisto himself is the 6th cosmic creation from that picture. Okay, so then we go on a different note. It says the 3rd MCU Spider-Man film starring Tom Holland, and what could be considerable huge cast rumors hold true. Appears to be laying some groundwork for multiverse. Casting of Jamie Foxx, Electro, Alfred Molina, and Otto Octavius points in from that direction. But beyond the multiverse, there's also the threat of Peter Parker's exposed identity hanging over his head. As discussed in October, there is a chance that upcoming film would take cues from the Spider-Man storylines One More Day from 2007 and One Moment in Time in 2010, and will find Spider-Man denied help in restoring his identity from Doctor Strange and turning the devil in disguise. Mephisto, given the Parker look, there's the likelihood that Peter's meddling in the world of magic has severe consequences. But what Peter might not know is that Mephisto's plan was already long set in motion. But these threads will likely culminate in Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, which is set to feature Wanda in a substantial role. The logline from the film features and mentions that a friend-turned-enemy leading the situation of returning of Carl Mordu will be fulfilling a role. Much of he does in comics, but it's possible that a misdirect from Scarlet Witch being the friend-turned-enemy, especially if Strange is probably responsible for ending her domestic bliss in Westview. There is a decent chance that Wanda's community with Mephisto doesn't end with WandaVision, and her earning the mantle of Scarlet Witch has just much to do with her coming into her own, as it does her with her titles the Red Devil Mephisto. Beyond the multiverse of madness, Mephisto presents an opportunity to expand the MCU even further, given that his ties with both the cosmic and supernatural sides of the MCU, from his creation of Ghost Rider and his torment of the Silver Surfer, to his claim over the soul of Cynthia Von Doom, set on his son, victor on the path of becoming Doctor Doom, Mephisto may be the Marvel Multiverse's most well-traveled villain. And even if half of these theories were correct, he may entirely change the landscape of MCU and open up more possibilities than we ever anticipated when the franchise began from 2008. Oh, and while we're still playing the numbers game, WandaVision is indeed the set year after Avengers Endgame, which means 6 years following Thanos' snap, and a blip that may have sent a signal to the demon waiting in Dark Cosmos. So there you go, guys. That is all I'm going to share today. So, yeah. That I might be doing another video maybe tomorrow. So anyway, we're like going 16 minutes in this video. And I just figured, oh yeah, so I found this really good information that's really important for all you Marvel fans that are out there wondering all about these theories and stuff that are going around, you know, and big clues that you may see in WandaVision. So yeah, anyway, so yeah, if you guys like this content, please hit a thumbs up and make sure you leave your comments below. And I'm sorry, but I've been kind of busy the last couple of days with school, so you're probably not going to see as much material for the end of this month, but maybe next month I might do some videos. I don't know, I'm not quite sure yet. So anyway, guys, you guys make sure you keep a lookout for my next video, and please hit a thumbs up and subscribe below, and you guys have a nice day. Bye.